All right, let's just start. And I think if people will come and see that it's pretty quiet, they'll just leave. All right, Nick, uh, please go ahead and start updating us with all the people usually here at TAP, onboarding farmers, events. So yeah, we're all listening.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everybody. It's good to see or hear everybody here. It's been a while since we did the AMA. We saw a lot of questions from the community, so we decided to do an AMA again. I think we should do it more often because there's many things happening, and it's important to keep communicating about it. So I will start with the giving an overview of what's happening um, with everything we're doing at the moment, and then after Fedron can talk a little bit more in detail about Novaterra. I also saw all the questions in the chat, so I will address those. I will mix it in with my own story because I think many questions will already be addressed. And then maybe some other people, if they want to join in and ask some questions, just raise your hand and we can address the questions as best as we can. So first of all, yeah, I want to start with the general overview. So we've been planting the first batch in Spain. Peter is in Spain at the moment, so he's taking care of the plants. He's giving them water. He's taking care of the weeds, and in between he is also eating some figs that are already growing there from the trees, from the mother of all fig trees. So that so he's enjoying himself in between all the hard work. And yeah, the trees they are growing. I think we posted some pictures of them. So they're still very small. You cannot really call it a tree yet. It's more like a seedling, but they're doing okay. So I saw some of the questions like, okay, the people that are holding the tree, is it generating CCO2 tokens already? The question is, the answer is yes, the tree is absorbing CO2, but it's not generating CCO2 tokens yet because we are still finalizing the tech. And it has to do mainly with the integration of satellite data. I think the majority saw the blog post a couple of weeks ago where Chainlink announced that they gave us a grant, and that grant they gave it to us because of the to fund the satellite integration development. So what we are doing is we are working together with a partner. It's called Floodlight, and they will provide us with satellite data. Basically, they will bring satellite data on chain, and we use that data to validate the existence of the NF trees. And based on that signal, people can claim CCO2. And that data is basically a monthly snapshot of that region where we have planted the trees. And then each month that data is updated, and that basically gives the go or no go for minting the CO2 tokens. But there is one challenge. If you plant something very small, it cannot be seen directly from the satellite. So it takes a while for the satellite to pick up those seedlings. So we have not figured it out yet when that satellite will be able to see the trees or see the lit trees. But we decided to implement this basically to yeah, enhance the current standard for CO2 tokens. because everybody knows that there is issues with the current carbon credits, because yeah, they're very untransparent and you don't really know where carbon credits are coming from, and that's why we chose to integrate satellite data with the monthly interval to, yeah, as a safeguard for the quality of the carbon tokens. But that, at the same time, that gives a little bit of a challenge that, yeah, newly planted trees, it will take some more time before the satellite will be able to pick them up and then be able to mint the tokens. But once it is picked up, the CO2 tokens are calculated from the planting date. So maybe we have to wait some weeks or months longer, but the tokens are backwards calculated from the moment of planting. So that is good news. Yeah, so and we are in the final stages of that development. So hopefully we can go live in September if everything goes well. We have to do the code audit after the final test, and after the test, we will deploy to Polygon mainnet, and then the dApp should be live. At the same time, we are working on the onboarding of farmers globally. So where people are planting new trees, maybe in Africa or South America, they can reach out to us, and they have to go through a process, and then we can onboard them so they can start generating their own CO2 tokens and sell them to earn additional revenue. So we are busy onboarding quite a lot of projects at the moment, because once the dApp is live, those projects will be able to generate a lot of CO2 tokens, which is also the main revenue stream for the company, because we chose to keep the onboarding for free. So small and medium farmers in Africa, for example, can get on board. They don't need to pay anything upfront. But we earn a revenue for minting of the CO2 tokens. We take a fee of that because we believe that the CO2 tokens will be very valuable. Yeah, basically, once we go live and in the future, because businesses will be looking to offset their CO2 emissions, and they will go, in our opinion, for the highest quality offsets, and that is the Coorest CO2 token, because it's backed by satellite data on a monthly basis, which is quite new and innovative, because the only way companies can do it now is to buy carbon credits, and everybody knows what's wrong with that. So therefore, we are on the right track of getting farmers on board, starting to yeah, generate CO2 tokens, and then we have to find to have to market heavily for the CO2 tokens, so to let the world know that a new product exists for carbon offsetting. Yeah, that brings me to tokenomics. I saw some questions about in the Telegram chat and in Discord channel about the tokenomics, because I realized that some people still confuse CRST, the Coorest token, with the CCO2 token. But the main difference is that the Coorest token is a governance token. So in the future, when that token is circulating, you will be able to stake it and to vote using staked Coorest tokens, and the staking rewards will be paid out in Coorest tokens. And the main difference between the CCO2 tokens is the Coorest token is the CCO2 token is backed by 1 kilogram of absorbed CO2, and the Coorest token has a limited supply, right? And it's really meant for governance and staking. That's the most important difference. And in theory, the CCO2 token has an unlimited supply, but at the same time, people have to buy and burn it in order to generate the proof of carbon compensation certificates. So that supply and demand dynamics will decide if CCO2 token becomes very scarce or not. Because if there's a lot of demand to create certificates, then there will be a lot of burning of CCO2 tokens. Um, let me go through the list of questions quickly.
I think you answered in order. You missed is
Yeah,
that
so
mainly?
batch 2 and 3. So we are mainly focused now on batch 2, so the mixed forest NF3s. We have not set a location and date yet. We are waiting on some other companies that we are in contact with to finalize their orders basically for trees. We know we want to plant it in Northern Europe, Scandinavia, and based on the amount of orders, we will finalize the location and the date for planting. But because it's also in Northern Europe, there is seasonality that we have to take into account because you cannot plant new trees in the winter. So it either has to happen before winter or just after winter. So no, we have no hard date yet. Um, yeah, the DAP is almost ready for the launch. Yeah, we keep building because we don't stop developing because we can do everything we want on testnet and keep building. There's still a lot of things we want to develop. We made a lot of progress. I think people saw that. You will be able to see NF3 holdings. You will be able to batch transfer your NF3s. You will be able to email your proof of carbon compensation certificates. We have dark theme now. We are going to develop a DeFi section in the future, which will involve the CCO2 token. I will not say anything more because the main priority now is to get that CCO2 token live. Um,
And one question, Nick. Usually people ask in the chat about the price of CCO2 tokens.
yeah, yeah. That is a very interesting question because the carbon offset market, carbon credit market, it's very opaque, right? Because there's many different prices for carbon offsets because you have the voluntary market, you have the compliance market, and within the voluntary market, you also have different prices for carbon in different regions of the world. You have different prices for different industries, so it's really confusing. But basically, I think what will be very important is the quality of the offset because people want to know what they're buying. People want to know that if they pay for an offset, that it's really backed by a high quality project. And this is something that we will introduce soon as the new highest level of quality in the carbon offsets, right? Because where can you buy a credit that guarantees you on a monthly basis that the project generating those CO2 tokens is legit? I have not seen that yet. So, and that will determine the price. Of course, price is also speculation. It's also marketing. It is supply and demand. So, to be honest, I don't know the price. Behind the scenes, I'm talking to market makers to see what would be a reasonable price. But in the end, it's not up to me to determine the price. Yeah, maybe once we set up the first liquidity pool, we can determine the price. But after the market will take over, based on speculation, supply and demand. So yeah, good question. We have not decided yet on listing that token or putting it on a pool yet. So because most likely the rollout of this token will go in phases. So I can imagine that maybe first we will do more OTC kind of deals with companies or high net worth individuals to sell tokens. Because companies also want to hedge themselves against the risk of rising prices for carbon offsets. So maybe companies will be interested in making longer term deals, that they can make a deal with a farmer, for instance, that they can get a guaranteed amount of CO2 tokens for a guaranteed price. But it is one of our goals to have the CO2 token trading via a DEX, but therefore we need liquidity, um, which requires, in my opinion, a market maker. Because if we want to facilitate really big companies that want to offset, like let's say, thousands of tons of CO2, you can imagine that buying through a DEX with a small liquidity pool will be problematic. So, long story short, price is still to be decided, um, but we are talking behind the scenes to determine the initial price. So, hopefully soon we will know more. Uh, yeah, because I think all the NFT holders, they want to see a high price for the CO2 tokens that they are generating. We also hope to get a good price, but yeah, let's see what how the market values our token.
Yeah, it's not like we can put any price we want it. So
Well, yeah, in theory, you could do that, right? So if you have liquidity available to put it on a DEX, you create a liquidity pool, and then there is a price, right?
yeah,
But um, and in the end, the market is going to decide because there will be buyers, there will be sellers,
yeah,
therefore creating a price. And
exactly.
it's going to be a journey for sure.
Okay, thanks for the answer. Uh, is there anything else you would like to, like you were wanting to talk economics or?
Maybe later with Novaterra, I think
Mhm.
um, Vedran can take over for now.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Um, just gonna update you on Novaterra. At the moment, what's being done is the characters in game, which are made actually by one artist. He's working with the rigging models. Rigging is like the skeleton for the 3D model for the character. And the next step will be animation. So I expect to see soon characters in game. Right now, it's like mostly the world that you can see, and it's constantly being updated. That means the terrain is being textured and terraform, and also the 3D artists are making tons of assets, like on like a production line, because that is needed. For example, for the marketplace in game that we're gonna have on the volcano, that needs to be done like visually, and also the coding for the in-game marketplace, which will be for enabling the NFT trading. That's also gonna kick off soon. But at the moment, we are making the UI UX for that. I would say it's soon done. Um, Also, we are working on a sneak peek trailer, so people can see how it looks like at the moment and what to expect. Um, yeah, so a
Also
lot of
about the map. Can you
Yeah,
tell more about the map? Uh, like what's in the map, what players can do initially?
yeah, okay. So we have like the volcano is where the marketplace is. That's the only place where players can trade.
Mhm.
And then we have two quarries. These areas are for cutting stone. And I don't know if you have played MMOs before. It's like resource gathering. So you can find stone, gold, silver, rare items that you can use to craft like your your first tool, and also you can use stone for building houses and so on. So it's like a resource area.
All right.
And for the oasis, it's very similar, but you don't find the gold there. You find like animals, fruit, seeds, and all that stuff that you can also sell on the market, or you can reuse it like to your plot. So if you find a seed, you can plant it and you grow a tree, and from that you get your output that you can sell on the market.
And lots of people also
Uh,
ask, can I plant my NFT on my plot?
and there will be a special area for that.
Okay.
So it's like it will be like display area, let's say. So
Okay.
everyone who are in the land farm area where all the plots are,
Hmm.
you can see others planted NF3s.
So idea is that people who play this game and also have NFTs can bring their NFTs and make
Yes,
Novatera, make the map greener, right?
yes, exactly.
Okay.
So that will be possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, so the oasis is like the green area because the most of the map is desert. Uh, and in the future, later stage, we will have questing where players can do their quests, get XP, get items, and also from questing they will also learn the game mechanic. And we are also going through the rendering in game. We want to improve the render. At the moment, it's I would say quite standard. So there is a lot of improvements to be made, and that you will see on the trailer that's coming. Uh,
All right. Um,
Yeah, maybe we can discuss a little bit of the tokenomics of Novatera,
mhm. Yeah,
because the
exactly.
because this week we spent a lot of time uh, designing the tokenomics. Because yeah, we learned from other projects that a tokenomics model needs a lot of attention, because if you see the all the early play to earn games, they were basically built during the bull market, and that gives a little bit of a distorted view for designing a tokenomics model that is sustainable in the long term. Because in a bull market, you will have a lot of new entrants of players, and there's no shortage of liquidity. There's a lot of speculation in the play to earn tokens driving the price, but you see that in the bear market, the all prices crash because people sell. They want to take profit. Um, and that's when we decided, okay, we should link the play to earn model to the CCO2 token, right? Because we know that the CCO2 token will have a utility outside of the game. So there's like a deflationary uh, force driving that CCO2 token, because people or businesses will buy the CCO2 token and burn it to generate the POCC certificate. If we are able to allocate a portion of the CCO2 token as rewards for the CCO2 for the play to earn as a play to earn token, you players earn in a token that will be valuable and is usable for them. So if they don't want to sell it, they can use it to offset their own emissions if they want, or they can trade it. And the only way that the CCO2 token comes into circulation is when there's an NF3, when there's trees planted somewhere. So that we don't have this infinite inflation of that CCO2 token supply without having a deflationary demand for it. At the same time, we are looking how we can reward existing NF3 holders or in the future new NF3 holders to buy an NF3 and plant it in the game. So, and we have now come up with a new token besides the CCO2 token that we call the oxygen token. So we can you can plant a tree in the game, which will start to generate oxygen, which we can also tokenize. So it will contribute to a greener Novaterra, but you will be able to use the oxygen tokens for special NFTs that
So
can only be bought with oxygen tokens.
when you mean plant a tree in the game, you mean planting the NF tree that you paid for.
NFT, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, and to give utility to that token on the marketplace, there will be special NFTs that you can use in your farm that can only be acquired with oxygen tokens. And we have some other plans, but they are, and there it's a bit premature to announce it here. But for phase one, we want to start like this in order to ensure maximum utility for NF3s also in Novaterra. So it makes it not only cool to have. First of all, if you own an NFT, it starts it generates CCO2 tokens, and if you bring it in the game, you can earn an additional token. Yeah, that's basically how Novaterra will work for the play to earn tokenomics model.
All right. Let's see if there's any questions from the community.
Yeah, I saw there's one question that I left unanswered
Tell me.
about park, right? So, question about tokenizing trees. I know a business in my town building a large park on campus. Is there a minimum number of trees or requirements if they want to work with Coorest to tokenize their trees and use them? Well, I would say there is a minimum of trees, but we could definitely get in contact with that campus to see if we can tokenize it. If it's the most important thing is that it will be newly planted trees. And if it's only a small number like 10, 20, then it doesn't really make sense because we have to go through the process of auditing, verifying the trees, and then track and trace the trees through satellite data. So it has to be some, I would say, the minimum of a hectare, or I don't know how many acres that is, but yeah, if
Like we are talking about hundreds at least.
hundreds of trees, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
not in this case. I'm like, you mean that it should be at least a couple of hundreds, right?
yeah. So if it's a considerable amount, please reach out to us, and then we can always see if it's worth to tokenize it, so that campus can be onboarded by us.
Yeah. You can DM me if you want, and I can direct it.
Yeah,
Uh,
because we have designed an onboarding process. So if you do DM Amin, he can make the first assessment and he can redirect to the onboarding process.
okay. He says it's a brand new campus to be completed in 24-25, so I will reach out and see how big they plan on building. So yeah, he'll get more info, get back to us.
Okay.
Scott's
Um,
asking, will the earnings in CCO2 tokens be dynamic since the price of them will be changing? And is the
um,
O2 tokens only in-game tokens?
yeah, well, regarding the earnings, so I think we will kick it off by allocating a certain amount of CCO2 tokens for each, let's say, quarter. Because we are not exactly sure how many tokens CO2 tokens we will generate. Because we will take a fee from all tokens generating that projects that are on board, and yeah, a certain percentage we will allocate to the Novaterra game. So it not only depends on the price, but I think it depends more on how many tokens we are able to allocate to the Novaterra game based on the tokens generated through the fees.
You mean CCO2 tokens?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
All right.
So because even if the price goes up, so let's say if a player earns 10 CCO2 tokens a day, for example, um, if the price goes up, that's only good for the player. But I think we will not reduce the amount of CCO2 tokens based on price.
Mm-hmm.
It's more depends on how many CCO2 tokens we have available to distribute.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, it will not be as much because there will only be a few projects online on chain that are generating CCO2 tokens. But yeah, within a year we are looking to onboard maybe a couple of hundreds of farms, right? So we will start generating more tokens over time. So it will be gradually going up all the CO2 tokens we will have available.
Yeah.
O2 tokens, oxygen tokens only in the game, only in-game tokens. Yes, unless somebody can find the market for oxygen tokens. But that's the good thing about decentralized finance. If somebody else has a good idea, uh, they can build their own market with the oxygen tokens.
Yeah. All right. And there's a Nandik Shore ask more questions. When mainnet launch?
We hope to do it end of September.
All right. And when we convert our harvest fruit in tokens, I think he means from my Coorest 3 game, Harvested Figs. That I think my Coorest 3 game is still in a beta stage, and it will be still to be announced. So there's no clear date. If Nick has anything to add extra.
What's the listing price for your official? The official token will be Course token will be listed at 50 cents. Can we convert our into token after official launch? Yeah, we have not decided yet about my Chorus tree. Uh,
Yeah,
there's
about the convert ratio and all that things is not still to be decided because it also depends how much trees will be planted because 70% of the like some percentage of the earnings are going on the planting on the trees, so it really plays a role on the demand and supply. So that's why it's really hard to give out any numbers right now. All right, let's see, is there
correct.
any more questions? Maybe here, not from the chat, maybe people here, if you wanna talk, speak, or you can raise your hand. And ask your questions while talking.
Uh,
About events, Nick, because we have some upcoming events. Maybe you would like to
yeah, I
answer.
see one person raising his hand.
Oh yeah. Oh,
No, yeah,
sorry.
and then after we can address the events and some
Yes.
teasers.
All right. Galip, I invite you to speak. Yeah.
Oh yeah, hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Galip from Bangladesh. Uh, I joined the Coorest AMA platform. I think it's been almost 2 months. Uh, since you've been talking about your token CCO2 a lot, uh, I missed the first 10 minutes. I was busy. Apology on my from my part. Uh, Have you talked about the circulation amount? Is it already determined, or you are going to determine about the circulation of your tokens?
CCO2 tokens, do you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, so the amount depends on how many trees we bring on chain, right? So because we know a tree absorbs a certain amount, and we tokenize 1 kilo of absorbed CO2 into one token. So we and we are tokenizing only newly planted trees. So depending on how many projects we can find and onboard, that will determine the amount of CCO2 tokens, right? But
Meaning
there's
more
also
trees,
a
more CCO2 tokens.
yes. So the but there's also constant. Well, I hope a constant burning of CCO2 tokens because people are looking for offsets to compensate.
Uh, that's a great idea. But since you have mentioned already that you are not going to reduce the token, so I was like confused that you guys already started the circulation process or not. But
No,
however, you have mentioned about the Novatera project, but still we are sometimes having many ups and downs in the running project of your core station on which is available on Play Store. If you don't apology from on my part, I do know really about very less about the development, but last week there was a problem about the advertisements per hour. So it's already, I think the project is not totally problem free, right? So you guys are like expanding the project. Do you have any plans regarding the post maintenance of the projects?
You mean about MicroStrategy? Well, MicroStrategy is just a really small part of entire Coorest ecosystem, and it's just a small play-to-earn mobile game, but it's still in a very, very early stage, and it's beta. That's why we didn't even start it. We even didn't start to advertise it properly in a big scale. And of course, since it's a new game, there's a lot of bugs, and yeah, we try to figure them out, to fix them, and to improve the game. But yeah, well, we of course appreciate all the feedbacks that we received through our Telegram group and our developers weekly working and releasing updates on that. But yeah, my Coorest tree is really small part of the entire Coorest ecosystem. Coorest is mainly focused on carbon compensation project, a carbon compensation model. But yeah,
yeah, my chorus was just it started just just for fun, right? It's not really it's absolutely not the core focus of what we're doing. So it was just a fun side project that yeah we decided okay this could be fun for the community. Um, so yeah, it's absolutely not our core focus at the moment.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a great thing what you have planned. I also appreciate it, and I clap it. Like you guys like dreamed this thing. Uh, I feel I will go along with you guys on new projects, and hopefully you complete all your targets in time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
yeah. All
Yeah, we
right.
have two
Yeah,
upcoming events. One in Rio, blockchain event in Brazil, and that will be attended by 4 people. Um, so hopefully we can get some traction in America. Sabrina will go there. Alejandra will go there. Um, William will go there, and Gustavo from the team will go there. So we have a heavy presence there because basically everybody except William is is living there already in Latin America. So they will bring awareness in that part of the world. So hopefully we can have some positive outcomes after that event. Um, I know that behind the scenes, a lot of conversation have already been developing with companies in South America, and hopefully this face-to-face events will contribute to bring some deals closer. Yeah, myself, I will be going to SmartCon. It's a Chainlink event in New York City. They asked us to come and speak about what we are building because Chainlink really likes what we're doing based on their infrastructure. So I will be speaking there. Hopefully, also attracting more attention to the CO2 tokens, and hopefully find some companies that are interested in buying CO2 tokens to compensate their CO2 footprint.
yeah. All right. And I would like to also add that in the event in Rio, William and possibly Alejandro and the other team members will also be present in the panel discussions about forest and blockchain and also impactful NFTs. And yeah, they will also have a workshop about NFTs. So we'll definitely keep you posted and updated how everything went down in our social media accounts. So stay tuned.
Good. Maybe is there anyone else with a question? Maybe no. Well, we have one big teaser, and that is in end of September. We will have quite a big announcement. Um, Basically, everything is already finalized, but we are now working with some partners to finalize the announcement. And that will be in September. So yeah, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on our on all our channels because I'm pretty sure that that announcement will gain some attention for our project. So yeah, personally, we are very excited about it. I'm sure that you guys will love it as well.
Yeah, and Nandkishore asking, what's your strategy regarding marketing? Because marketing is important in this kind of project. Correct. And right now, mainly we are focusing getting on more exposure, and of course, it's also being done by attending big blockchain events, and especially if there's a topics related sustainability, environment, uh, yeah, global warming. So that's why we have Rio event and also SmartCon event because these are the places where also people who has big interest in this industry are present. So it's also great to get exposure and get more connections. So that's so far we can tell about that. And there's another question about when Novatera land sale that has been addressed. Novatera land sale.
Maybe we can discuss, tell a bit more about what we're planning to do. I mean,
Um, about Novatera land sale.
yeah, with the insider
Uh,
program.
all right. Well, so we want to create one special group, insider group, on Discord, where people who are really interested in the water project can join to this group. But of course, it's not going to be as easy as just clicking a button and joining it. So we really want to keep it small and direct. And so it will be based on the rule that you have to reach a certain level on Discord, and then you have a chance to join to this group. And the advantage of this group, of course, will be that you will get the most latest updates of the Novatera. Of course, you can ask that you all we get this updates anyways on announcement channel, but now it's a bit different because during this big updates, the big updates always consist small updates, right? So you will always see what developers are sharing, screenshots. When we are doing maybe some game testing, you can will share it there, so you can join and watch it live. Uh, because sometimes our developers have building tests we had last time, for example. So this will be more insider informations that you will get, which will not be discussed or published publicly. And then, of course, these insiders will also get several advantages in the future. But yeah, that's the max that so far we can tell about. But soon, of course, you will uh, get a big announcement about it on the on Discord chat with more details. So let's see. Sunfell, you want to? Oh, okay. Ah, I was reading your messages on the chat, but okay, I think I read it a bit late. All right. Anyone have any other questions from audience? All right. Um, well, I guess if we don't have any more questions and if Vedrano or Nick doesn't have anything to add, we can finish the AMA. You guys have anything to
No,
address?
no, I think we shared the most important updates for this week.
I have nothing to add.
All right. Well, I would like to say that this AMA also was recorded, so we'll also publish it on Discord on our YouTube channel. So if you missed it, you can also go and watch it later. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Vedran and Nick, and thank you guys for having here and asking questions. We hope we answered everything. Uh, and we hope you got all your answers, and we wish a good day to all of you. Bye bye.